here with Besh, one of our successful FundedX traders. So far, he's already had a $3,000 payout, an $8,000 payout, and next week he's got a $9,000 payout pending. So great to catch up with you.
Good to meet you.
Yes, for sure. And this is actually where he's staying at the Atlantis, the Royal. This is his room. It's very, very nice. You've got a sick pool, sick living area. It's elite. And then this place is elite. Everything about Dubai is elite.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dubai is just on another level, man.
Yeah, it is. Crazy. It is. But yeah, so I wanted to sit down with you and talk about your trading. So obviously you've got a few payouts now.
Yeah.
Most people that might be watching this might have a payout, or maybe they're striving to get a payout. What's the thing that separates you from someone that is starting out and trying to make it happen?
I feel like with a lot of people, they just rush into like funded accounts straight away.
Yeah.
They trade demo for like a couple of weeks or a month or two, and then they're like, okay, like I think it's time to go for a 200K funded account. And they're not really used to like seeing like negative $2,000 or something like that.
Yes.
And they don't realize like the emotions actually get to you a lot more than you think. So what I reckon is, you have to give it a good solid like couple of months or even a year before you decide to jump onto the funded accounts. And start small, like start on a 25K, 50K account. Learn how to manage your risk, how to deal with emotions, and then once you get a payout from one of the smaller accounts, then scale and get up to the 200K, 200K accounts and go from there. Enjoy the process and don't just try scale straight from the start, because you just end up
100%.
an emotional wreck.
Yeah, we've all been through it, especially as well. My journey, 4 years it took me to make $1. You know, so I had it hard, like a lot harder than a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think because the reason it took so long is because I lost so much money early.
Yeah.
So mentally I did so much damage that like now trying to come back from that took way longer than it should have.
Yeah. No, similar with me, man. Like, not gonna lie, I think I lost like 20 funded accounts beforehand.
Yeah.
So mine just started straight down.
Yeah.
And I did exactly what I just said what not to do, because I've learned from experience.
Exactly.
Just straight on the 200K accounts, I'd blow one, buy another one, wait for my paycheck, buy another one.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I was just like, shit, like I'm down like 20K Australian, and I'm like, now I really need to take a step back.
Yeah.
Went back to demo, went back to smaller accounts, and now I'm back up to the level where I'm making consistent payouts on bigger accounts.
Oh, that's great to hear. And talk about a bit about your strategy. Like, how exactly do you trade? How do you find setups in the market?
Yeah, sweet. So I mainly use 15-minute narrative. So I wait for 15-minute order flow to either be bullish or bearish through smart money concepts. So breaks of structures, protected high, protected lows. And once the lower time frame aligns with the 15-minute, I look for a break of structure, I'll pull back to a supply-demand area, buy off there and try to target the previous structure, and that's pretty much it, man.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, I like to keep it very, very simple, very mechanical.
That's very good.
Less is more, always.
Yep, less is more. So roughly how many trades are you taking per day or per week?
It could range anywhere between 1 and 5 trades a day.
Yeah.
That's my risk management, because I only risk 0.3 or 0.5%.
That's great.
I have that room to risk that much trades, but for the people risking 1%, like if you take 4 losses or 5 losses, you're at your max daily drawdown.
It's crazy. Yeah. Talk to me about that. Like, why not risk 1%, or why not risk 2%, and why not just, I guess, like in my eyes, it's gambling. Yeah. So like, what stops you from doing that, and what allows you to kind of keep it consistent? And of course, when it comes to payouts, not having to kind of go for home runs. Even though you're getting really, really nice payouts, you could easily go, hang on, I'm not finished at 8K, I want to go for 30.
Yeah.
So what kind of keeps you disciplined with all those things?
When you're trading like funded accounts, it's not so much like a percentage that you got to aim for, it's more as a capital thing.
Yes.
When you have more capital, like making a 1 to 2% return on a funded account, put that aside onto the next funded, make 2%, put that aside onto your next funded. Just like cycling through your funded accounts.
Yeah.
A lot of people get like one 200K account or one 100K account and aim for like 10-15% on one trading payout.
Yes.
And then they just catch themselves like just going drawdown and drawdown and drawdown. Where you should just like focus on, okay, I passed this 200K, I'll make my 1 or 2%, which is what, like 2% on 200K is $4,000, and that's American.
Yeah.
Right? So like $6,000 Australian, put that aside, get a challenge, start going for the challenge, and then rinse and repeat.
Amazing.
So I feel like it's more of a capital issue for people.
Yeah.
Because they pass one account, they just want to, get $15,000, $6,000 payout. People are just greedy, and like, obviously that, okay, you shouldn't think like, that you can make a lot of money like, if you keep trading.
Yeah.
But you should think of like the negatives. That's what I do. I'm like, okay, I'm up 8K on this payout.
Yeah.
It comes in 2 weeks. Every $1,000 I risk, because I risk 0.5%, is $1,000 out of my pocket.
Yes.
So why not just secure that 8K, put it aside, forget about it, and enjoy my holiday, or just go for a funded challenge and try to build up my capital.
Yes, awesome. And risking $1,000 to get 8-9K is still extremely amazing returns. Really, it just shows the consistencies there, that you don't have to kind of, you know, have one big position that kind of gets your whole payout. Like you're actually doing it slowly and consistently, which is very admirable. And so talk about your trading journey. How long ago did you start trading? And of course, trading in Australia, how do you find the time zones?
So 3.5 years now I've been trading. Like I said to you, it took me like 3 years to make any money. And then only now I've started to like get payouts and be a bit more consistent in trading. Don't get me wrong, I still deal with psychology issues every now and then. But I feel like my trading's like been next level, like especially the past like 8 months.
Amazing.
Trading in Australia is not bad because I live in Perth.
Yes.
So
oh, it's great.
Asia's at 8 a.m, London's at 4 p.m, and New York's at 9:30 p.m. So it works really well. But yeah, look, I've had very highs and very lows in trading. Like I said, blowing 20 funded accounts and not receiving any money. That's where the stats comes in, and everyone, like, you know, 95% of traders fail. That's because they give up.
Of course.
Like if you lost 20K, a lot of people will be like, all right, that's it, I've lost 20K, I don't want to trade anymore. But it's just that consistency, because like, look at the life it can build you, just a life of freedom.
It is. And I actually lost 250K. So
it's next level.
That's a lot of money, and a lot of it was pre-tax money. Because I was working as an air conditioning installer as a labourer, but as still working for a company, but they had me on as a contractor. So I was receiving money, but then I wasn't actually
paying the taxes.
It's not like I was trying to avoid it or anything. Like I ended up having to pay it. It was a debt to me now. But like that was pre-tax money that I would go. That made me go into 6 figures of debt as well. So as not only did I lose money, but put myself into all this debt from trading, and that was the hard thing. I think that's why funded accounts are so great, because you're not risking your own money. You don't have to lose 250K. If you're going to take 250,000, 250, 100K, 200K challenges, you're going to pass
at least one of them.
So what's the mindset like when you come into a trading day? How do you kind of go about when you come on the charts? What's your mind like? What are you thinking?
I just think, like, don't force setups, just like wait for one to present itself. So set alerts at, you know, key areas in my higher time frame. Once those alerts go off, then I'm like, okay, now it's time to look for an entry on the 1 and 3 minute. Wait for that to present itself, enter the trade, set my stop loss, set my take profit. I go to break even like quite early once I'm up in profit. At least 1 or 2 are. Because break even saves you a lot.
It does.
It really does. So once I get my break even level, set alerts at take profit, set alerts at break even, and leave it. You're either going to get 2 notifications: you trade hit break even, or you trade hit profits.
Cool. Oh, great. And do you look at the phone at all during that period?
I do every like half an hour, like, you know, just have a quick peek, see what's happening. I feel like a lot of people do. Like, we say we don't, but like, come on, when you're in a trade and you're floating like a couple thousand, like have a quick peek and you're like, okay, it's not too bad. Like I said, just set alerts mainly and just let the trade do its thing. Because a lot of people get into trading for the freedom. Like, you don't want to just sit there in front of your computers from 9 to 5. You just left your 9 to 5 to like go and have freedom, but you're going to sit on your computer from 9 to 5.
That's right.
And the more time you spend on charts, the more like you feel like you're going to be rewarded, so you just start entering dumb trades.
Exactly. And with that, do you have a strict set of times that you hit the charts, or is it when you kind of feel like it?
It's when like my alerts go off. I look at market conditions and see, okay, like I don't trade sessions, I trade based on market conditions. So I look at price, I'm like, okay, price is trending today, like it's looking good, we're very bullish, so I'm going to capitalize on it. But if price is ranging, I'm just going to say, no, not today. Like,
interesting.
Price is ranging, like why would I risk my capital on a ranging condition?
Exactly. Mistakes will happen.
Of course,
in chop, it's
you get chopped.
You get chopped.
It's in the word.
Definitely. All right. So for anyone that's watching this, what would your one piece of advice be? They want to be you. They want to get the payouts. They want to get the success. They want to come to Dubai. They want to live life. What would you say to these people that are striving?
Honestly, all I'll say is stay consistent and don't rush the process. We're all guilty of rushing the process and trying to get funded and make $20,000 a month. But trust the process. You know, build a strategy first and then slowly work on it and stay consistent. Like you lost 250K, I lost 20K. And a lot of people would have given up, and then now we have that debt, but we just kept pushing through, and now we get to live this life that we've always dreamt of. So stay consistent, And once you get to the point, definitely use funded accounts because it helps you out a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why risk 250k of your own money when you can risk the prop firm's money? You know?
Yeah.
And once you get your 3 payouts, you get your refund, and you have a risk-free 200k account.
Exactly.
Then you can start upping your risk and like.
Exactly. Awesome. You heard the guy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, AJ. So this is a series of 2 trades that I took. These are actually taken on my FundedX account, funny enough.
Nice.
So on the 15-minute, I won't go because this was last week, so there's a lot of charts after this. But on the 15-minute, we were extremely bullish, as you can see.
Yep.
All Thursday night, we were bullish, and then I woke up in the morning around here, 6:30 a.m. And I thought, okay, we've been bullish all week. I'm expecting some type of correction, so I'm going to try to capitalize on it. Because I look at pricing in the leg and I see that, okay, prices moved up so many pips all across yesterday, we're bound to come down. So I'm going to look for something to indicate the price is going to come down.
Perfect.
We had a gap open up and then price come up and filled the gap. Price then came back down on the 3-minute and gave us a break of structure. Price pulled back up into our demand zone, our supply zone up over here. I got confirmation over here after we swept the liquidity. Once price confirmed, I entered a short, put my stop loss above the protected high. And what that simply means is if price taps my stop loss, then price is going to continue heading up bullish.
Of course.
But since price respected and we got confirmation, I entered my short. Price came all the way down. Normally I'll target the protected low over here because I just like to target weak structure, but price just kept melting straight through. So I just decided to take profit like down over here.
Amazing work.
And then later on in the day, we had the exact same situation happen where price broke structure on the 3-minute.
Yep.
Price pulled back up, but there was no valid supply zone. But I had my protected high right over here. This was the high that caused the break of structure. Price comes up, it sweeps the high. We get confirmation. I enter my shorts, just targeted a flat 5 RR because if I was targeting the weak structure here, it wouldn't be worth my 2R. I need at least a 3R. Targeted a flat 5 and then we slapped the flat 5 over here.
Amazing work. And this second trade here, you're utilizing a lot of liquidity as well.
Correct.
Not just your supply demand, but actually taking the liquidity from the previous high.
Exactly.
And once you've taken that, are you now presuming that price will reverse?
Yeah, exactly. So price broke structure, which means this high is protected for me. And as you can see, it just consolidated all day on Friday night. Which was a lot of liquidity in the market. As you can see, one big move up, all the liquidity swept, the high swept as well, really good confirmation. Once we get the rejection candle on the 1-minute time frame, I enter my shorts and then I was targeting a flat 5 RR. Nice. I actually went to bed at this point because this is around 10:54 PM. So I went to bed, woke up, TP smashed.
Amazing.
No better feeling.
Of course. And that first entry there, I noticed that you put your stop loss not right on that high, but you gave it some room above. Is there a reason that you do that?
Yeah, so if we had the same situation as here when price starts to come back up and sweep the high, I want to give it some room with spread so that price is allowed to come up and sweep the high. So many times we get confirmation of our supply zone, price comes back down and then comes back up, sweeps the high. So instead of entering 2 trades, like re-entering in, I'll just use a bigger stop loss and let price tap in.
Cool. It's interesting that you say that because that aligns with the way I trade. Is I'm actually almost anticipating that the highs and lows will get taken.
You get swept.
So structure for me is not really as relevant, but I'm also looking for that sweep. But I'm actually trading into that. Whereas I don't wait for the high to be taken and then go the opposite direction. A lot of the time I'm actually seeing that, all right, there's a lot of liquidity sitting there. The high probability that price wants to go take that out.
So you target it.
And I target it.
Nice.
So that's interesting you say that because a lot of people will put their stop loss right on that high. Their price will just wick them out and then it will just go the other direction. So that's something that a lot of people make a lot of mistakes on. I think people watching this will see that and be able to really help them with their trading also.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of entering 2 trades, I could have entered a trade here and then once price comes back, it takes me out. I see it respects the high and then I'm in a second trade and now that's 2 risk on trades, right?
Exactly.
Where I can just do 1 risk on, a bit of a bigger stop loss, adjust my lot sizes so it's accordingly. And then if price would sweep the high and confirm, then it'll sweep the high. If price breaks the high, then my whole trade is invalid.
Yes, of course. Awesome. Well, thanks for that. That's amazing to see. I like how you're utilizing liquidity and actually giving the trade room. Even though you're trading with tight stop losses, you're not being too aggressive on that stop. You're not having it hard at the high.
Yeah.
I think that's very nice. And obviously the risk to reward is playing out beautifully for you too.
Yeah. Slapped the 5.1 over here, and then this risk to reward was another 5. So 10 risks to reward in one day.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
10. Can't complain.
And we can do that because like we're not risking 1%, we're risking 0.5. You know.
Yeah.
So even if they both were to get stopped out, it's only 1% loss on the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Awesome. Yeah, appreciate that. That's an amazing breakdown for sure.
That's sweet, man.
All right. So the way I trade is very, very similar in terms of how you view liquidity. I see it the same way. I look for areas where I guess a lot of traders are going one direction, and then I'm looking to go the other, but also traders are taking trades and I see that it's at a resistance zone, it's at a support level. Like for example, if a smart money entry is lining up with a support entry, then I think that there's a high probability that price will go and take the high. Like what you've shown here, how you cover that. When I see a support level, for example, that's a high, right? There's no resistance level there. When you have that low, price comes back, you have your entry. But if you're taking a trade around here where there's a big resistance zone, what does price want to do? Wants to come and take that out all the time, right? So the traders aren't realizing that they're taking a trade with a lot of other strategies at the same time. So for me, I'm identifying that, great, we've had a push down, we've had price come back into a supply, we're starting to make bearish structure, but we also are aware of a big resistance level right here.
Yeah.
So that resistance level is my key sign that, hey, we might be, this is a high risk trade if anyone's going short here, based on the fact that we're just tapping into a resistance again and again and again.
It's gonna break through.
There's a high probability that we actually get a big impulsive move like this, yeah? And that's actually what we see. We have the big impulsive move, and I'll explain my entry as well. And it was actually pretty simple. So basically I work with a lot of support and resistance. So I noticed first that price was stepping down. So again, it's coming back, it's having lows, coming back into a supply, making another low, coming back into a supply, making another low, which creates a break of structure, which creates another supply here. And at this point, I'm like, well, there's a lot of traders going short here.
Yeah.
How, like, could this be a trap, essentially? And then I look above and I see a huge resistance zone. So I think price isn't quite ready. And then I look and see that we've just taken out this support level here. So after taking the support level out, you see how price whips back up? That's my sign to get in. Now I use bigger stops than you. I go for a lower risk to reward.
Yeah.
It's just how I like to trade. 15 pips on the stop loss. I was just targeting the resistance. What we often see is eventually, when you have price just doing this, right? Lower lows, lower highs, just too obvious. In my opinion, way too obvious. We should look for potentially a sweep of that, right? So what we see is a big move to the upside, and you can see the force that price comes in with.
Big pump, yeah.
Yeah, it's no accident, because now at this point, when you've got all this stuff happening here and it's at a big resistance zone, there's no surprise that price will eventually be like, everyone's gonna get taken out now. How do we do it? We go the opposite direction. So I'm trying to actually anticipate when that will happen and actually go into the opposite side. So in this case yesterday, it was a buy after the sweep of that support zone, and then you can see that price pretty much rocketed up, kept going.
Zero drawdown, yeah.
Yeah, zero drawdown, yeah. Kind of went way higher, but for me, 1 to 2 is kind of where my sweet spot is. So yeah, that was my trade.
Yeah, nice, bro. In and out, quick money.
In and out. That's it. Yeah,
nice.
So we're seeing liquidity, same thing, but like your entry might be, you know, when price does take this high, it might be a sell, which is the similar. Like we're both seeing what's going to happen, anticipating what's going to happen, but in slightly different ways, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, similar concepts, man. Just different entries. Hey?
That's it.